I am losing my damn mind. I have been stuck in the house working all week and I am going insane. So today's a writing day and I thought let's go into town and try something a little bit different. So I live in Edinburgh and I'm very lucky because there are a ton of different cafes and bookshops around town. So I'm going to set myself a little challenge. Let's see how many cafes I can hit and write 1,000 words per cafe. And I'm not allowed to leave until I hit those 1,000 words. I don't know how this would go. I've not done anything like this before. But it's sunny, so let's try. We like sun in Scotland. It's rare. So I kid you not, I am just back from shooting in town and writing. We came home to this bad boy. Talk about timing. Let's just ignore that. So before I catch you up on the writing and if I succeeded, spoilers, I didn't, we'll talk about it. We shall build the chair. So today's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, who very kindly sent me this very cool chair. So that is one of the things about working in lots of cafes or even at home, is you really need a decent chair. Otherwise you're going to finish a writing session and feel like you've been trampled over by a horde of Aya. And if you know what that means, yeah. So of course when FlexiSpot said that they wanted to send me their new C7 office chair, I wasn't going to say no. This thing is like a transformer. There's so many things that are adjustable. The handrests go 360, forward, back. The back support is really good. It's just very customizable and adjustable. I do especially like the lower lumbar support. Because, yeah, when you're sitting at a desk all day, that can really be annoying if your chair hasn't got that. So I will leave a link to this in the description below if you are looking for a new office chair. I highly recommend checking out the C7 Wave in particular. This thing is great. It's super easy to set up, apart from Meg, who liked playing in the box and slowing the whole process down. I'm trying really hard to build this. But yes, link in the description. Thank you very much, FlexiSpot, for sending this chair over. I love it. Okay, so writing didn't quite go to plan. I started off down in Artisan Roast at the bottom of Stockbridge. Really nice coffee shop. And the coffee's so good. And it was strangely quiet, which is quite nice. So I got down 1,024 words there or something. Just over 1,000 words. Super happy with that. Much like book 2, Storm of Shadows book 3 is in parts. And I'm coming to the end of part 1. And part 1 just kind of feels like a prologue to the main story. A lot of it is kind of setting the scene and kind of showing a bit of the fallout of the end of book 2, and coming to the end of it is just really exciting because there's some really fun scenes that I finally get to write that really is going to pick up for the rest of the book. So I'm loving writing it. I got 1,000 words down pretty easily, which is quite nice. Sometimes it's a little harder to get the words down, but today it just flowed really nicely. And then we went to Books and Cup because obviously it has book in the title of a coffee shop. I'm sold. And they do actually sell books inside the shop as well, which was quite cool. I didn't know that. I've only been to the other Books and Cup that's on the other side of Edinburgh. This is where we had a problem. I think I got about 300, 400 words down, and then my laptop died, and there was no plugs in the entire place. So, I made it to one coffee shop in 1,000 words. What a successful challenge. That was great. So I'm going to do about 700 words tonight, and just bring that up to the total of 2k for the day, just to round it off. And we'll try again tomorrow. We'll go to a different coffee shop and we'll hit another 1,000 words, and then at least we're getting there with this book. I am having a blast writing it though. It's a lot darker than the other books. The trilogy has just tended to get darker and darker as the books go on. Book 1, Harbinger of Justice, has some dark moments, but I would argue The Black Mantle is definitely darker, and now Storm of Shadows is even darker than that, which is really fun because I'm really enjoying that kind of trend, which just kind of get more and more messed up in a lot of ways. And if you read the end of book 2, you kind of knew that this one had to be darker than the other 2 books. Also, I will say, if you've not read the novellas Silence of Silver and Tomb of Tomes, they're in the same series, they are becoming more and more relevant, especially in this 3rd book. So if you want the full experience, I highly recommend checking out those novellas before the 3rd book, because yeah, I'm pulling on a lot of stuff from there coming up, which will be really, really fun, because I kind of like this final book in the trilogy is just going to pull everything together, as you would expect. But I'm going to pull aspects from the novellas as well, which is, I'll write it in a way that you don't need to have read the novellas, because I know some people just don't like novellas and short stories. But I do feel like you get a better picture of everything if you've read the novellas as well. I am so excited to get this book out and see what people think, because yeah, I'm also kind of nervous because it's the 3rd book in a trilogy. I want to stick the landing. But I'm pretty confident. I like the outline. I like how the book is shaping up. I'm not super far in yet, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So let's get those other 700 words down tonight, and then we will cap it off for the night and pick this up again tomorrow. Okay, so day 2, let's try this again. And let's try and get something a little bit more planned. I have charged my laptop this time, and we're going to go through some cafes and try and get 1,000 words per cafe again. Now, I have already written 1,000 words this morning in the Cafe a la Flat. As you can see, we got 1,022 words down so far today. Moving into part 2 of this novel is interesting because I'm kind of changing up the way I'm writing it. But with part 1, I kind of wrote it all in order because I was just kind of finding the feel of the story. Every book kind of has its own feel for me, and I was just trying to capture that, and I feel like it's easier kind of doing things in order. But now that I have like a solid feeling for the book and I kind of know where everything is and where it's going, I do have everything outlined beforehand. But it's still, for me, the outline is very much this overview, but I feel like when you start writing, you get the feel of it, which can be very different, kind of the atmosphere. And earlier I was talking about how dark it is compared to some of the previous books so far. And the one thing that's very different about this book is there are a lot more points of view. With book 1, we kind of just have a couple, and then there's maybe 1 or 2 more in book 2. Well, book 3, there's a lot more point of view characters. Not like Game of Thrones level. I've not got hundreds of characters here, but there's still more than I'm used to. So I'm going to go back to a thing that I did with book 2, The Black Mantle, and I'm going to write some character chapters in a row. So I'm going to be working through all of Yeru's chapters first, who is a scholar that's in book 2 and also has the novella Tomb of Tomes. This is her kind of backstory, and she is a main point of view character in book 3, and I'm starting with her chapters in part 2 and writing all them before I jump over and write all of some of the other characters in this section. And for me, that's just easier because once you're in a character's head, to finish a chapter and then immediately change over to a different character with a different writing style can be difficult. And like I said, for sections of the book that does work, especially the start for me, that's kind of what I needed to do. But now that I've kind of got a better feeling for the book, I feel like sticking to a character and kind of writing out their part of this narrative first is just going to make it easier to stay in the character's head while I'm writing it. And it's a really fun section because I get to play into some of the mystery world building that I've been teasing for a while, which is a lot of fun. Kind of stuff that I've been planning from book 1. Starting to unravel a little bit, hinting at not only the conclusion of this book, but also the sequel series that will eventually come down the line as well. There's lots of fun world building stuff that, I just have a blast writing. So the plan is to at least go out and get another 1,000 words down today. I don't know if we'll get 3,000, but if we get 2,000, I will be happy with that. especially when we got the 2,000 odd yesterday as well. That's kind of what I'm aiming for, is about 2,000 words a day, 5 days a week. 10,000 words a week is the current goal, and occasionally I hit way more than that, and occasionally I hit way less than that. It's just the chaos of writing. But we need to improve on this video after completely failing on the whole idea of it yesterday. Well, today we're going to try again, and we're going to try in a different location. So yesterday we were down Stockbridge. Today I think we'll go down and try some of the cafes in Leith, which is the other side of Edinburgh, and it's just covered in different cafes. The only thing is, a lot of the smaller coffee shops that I like to visit have like no laptops on table rules, and I completely understand because they don't want people coming in and sitting for hours, but it does make me really iffy about trying some of the smaller coffee shops when I want to get some work done. And I get it completely. It makes complete sense. But yeah, I don't want to take up a space and block other customers from using the cafe while I'm sitting there working. But at the same time, I don't want to sit in Starbucks and write. That's dull. I want to go to nice coffee shops. But I do know of a couple down here we can try and see how busy they are. It is a Friday afternoon, so we'll see how much that's going to affect the levels of people, amount of people, but it'll be fine. And that is it for the day. So we ended up on 2,366 words for today, and over the 2 days, 4,400 words. So I am pretty happy with that overall. I try not to be too hard on myself for word count in particular, because it's really dependent on so many things. Even parts of the novel can really slow down. I find certain scenes I just fly through, others are quite slow to get all the words down, and all progress is progress. Even if I just get a couple hundred words down, I'm glad to have at least sat down and done some work on it. I do think consistency is more important over how much you get down. So even if you have just a short period of time, it's still worth sitting down and getting those words on the page and you closer to that final scene. So if you're a writer, let me know down in the comments below where you write. Are you out in cafes, or are you at home, or do you kind of do a mix of both like I do? And again, a huge thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video and sending over that chair that will be linked in the description as well. Thank you very much for watching. Outro.